Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Facebook Coach G here coming to you live on this beautiful, I think it's Wednesday night. I just got back from Palm Springs. I was out there on a little business trip and had to do a little presentation out there. Bringing you tonight, bringing you my principle number 10 from my book, The Genius Within. Principle number 10, The Genius Within. So principle number 10 is passionate about the learning. You have to be passionate about learning. Let me guys give you a quote here from the one and only my buddy Yoda. So it basically goes like this. You you will find only what you bring in. You will find only what you bring in. So think about that. Yoda, that's from Yoda. You will find what you only bring in, which basically means that whatever you take into your mind, that's what you will find. Okay. If you do not bring anything to your mind, you will not find it, right? So I think that was a pretty neat quote to go along with principle number 10, passionate about learning. Okay. You no longer have to limit yourself to what you learn in school. Okay. I call that you need to self-educate yourself. And I'm not knocking school. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go to school or drop out or anything like that. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to college. I'm just saying I don't think that you should limit yourself to what, especially if you're in junior high school or something like that, in college too. You shouldn't limit yourself to what you are learning in school, because the majority of stuff that you're actually learning in school is not going to help you in the real world. They do not set you up to succeed in the real world. They do not set you up to be successful. They set you up. I believe that the education system is completely outdated with the way things are today in the technology and the social media era. I truly believe that the education system needs to be looked at, because they're not setting people up for the future that is coming, and even the present right now. I think a lot of people are struggling because the education system is completely set up like 100 years ago, 200 years ago. They haven't really changed anything. They haven't changed much at all. And I think it's hurting people out there. So you need to self-educate yourself and basically expand your knowledge. And one way to do that, of course, I say read. That's one of my principles in my book, is to read. You need to read all the time. I really believe reading is very important, and that's one way to self-educate yourself. Yeah, if you don't really like to read, find something that you're passionate about and read about that. Podcasts, listen to podcasts. You can get a lot of knowledge if you make sure it's the right kind of podcast. It just expands your vision and your knowledge. Go to seminars, travel. You can learn a lot from traveling. Travel around the world if possible. Travel in your city, your state, your country, and you can learn a lot that way. Uh, Activities, getting different activities. Join sports, join music, join art, whatever you're passionate about, and that also brings in knowledge. Uh, and think about it, the way technology is today and social media, anything you want to know is just a push of a button away, right? You can find anything in this world. I mean, it's so much easier to educate yourself today than it ever has been in the history of mankind. And so why aren't we smarter than we are, right? That doesn't make any sense. All we got to do is push a little button and ask. And even some women just talk to it and ask. Series, what was such and such and such and such, right? And boom, tells you right back. So there's no excuse for you not to expand your own knowledge and expand your learning. I truly believe that. So let me say hi to a few people here. What's up, Brian? Always good to see you. It's been a while. Where you been, buddy? How you been? And Jennifer, thank you for all the little likes and all that kind of stuff you're throwing out, little hearts and things. Oh, you love traveling too? So do I. I love it too. So it's good seeing you guys on there. Today I'm bringing principle number 10 in my book, is passionate about learning, and I truly believe that great, go to school. That's great. Get the knowledge in school. Go to college if you want to go to college. I'm not knocking any of that, but I truly believe that you need to self-educate yourself as well. Study what you're passionate about. If it's music, art, dance, sports, if you like to write, read, coaching, study about reading books. If you want to read books, study about, if you want to be an actor, study that. You want to be a producer in movies, study that and learn those things, and not only in school but self-educate yourself. And I think you will become that much better of a person and quicker, and learn those skills and learn those things that you're passionate about a lot quicker than if you did not do that. uh, when it comes to learning, the only limit is in your mind. When it comes to learning, the only limitation is what you put in your mind. So keep that in mind, that it's all in here. You guys know my story. A lot of you know my story. If anybody's new, I was diagnosed with a learning disability growing up, basically saying I couldn't, do certain things, couldn't read, couldn't write, couldn't comprehend, wasn't great in math. And I'm still to this day, I struggle with that stuff. But I'll tell you what, I am 100 times better than I used to be in reading. I'm 100 times better than I used to be in spelling, because of my self knowledge, my self education that I do. I read 3, 4 books a month. I'm up to book 15 this year already. I read 42 books last year, and I have a goal to read 50 this year. And that's self-education. It's very important. I go to a lot of seminars, because I'm very passionate about speaking and coaching and helping people. So I get knowledge from people that are doing that in that industry, speaking or coaching. I go to seminars and listen to them. I do webinars online. Click of a button, if I want to learn something. I study about that kind of stuff. When I wrote my book, I did a lot of knowledge and research, and studied the things that I put in the book, and also all the stuff I've learned over the years, the knowledge that I put into my book. So I think it's very important that you self-educate yourself. Regular education is great, but like I was saying earlier in the video, it is outdated. I truly believe it is outdated. They are not preparing people for the real world. They're not teaching you how to get your own business. They're not teaching you finance. They're not teaching you budgeting. They're not teaching you how to stay out of debt. They kind of more like teaching you how to get into debt, right? Go to college, put $100,000, $200,000 down on college, and then guess what? You're in debt for the rest of your life, unless you become a multimillionaire or doctor or lawyer or something like that, and you might be able to pay it off. So you got to think about that. And again, like I said, I'm not knocking college or anything like that, because I actually went to college myself. But I learned more outside of college than I did in. I just, from my own experience, you learn more from the trials of life and self-education than you do in regular education in school. I call it the hard knocks of life. You learn a lot more. You learn a lot more on the job than you do studying for the job. I'll just put it that way. If you you can study to be a lawyer or anything, but I guarantee you'll learn more in the courtroom than you did in the classroom. That's for sure. I mean, I went to school and I studied cooking. I studied restaurant management, and I learned almost zero in college compared to what I learned when I stepped my foot in that restaurant and tried to run the restaurant for the first time, and had somebody throw food at me or spit in my face. Or high school and college does not prepare you for something like that. I mean, they don't teach you, okay, what do you do when you're running a restaurant and somebody spits in your face? What do you do? What do you do when somebody is pissed off at you about their food and they throw the food at you or pour the drink over your head? What do you do? They don't teach you that in school. So it's I think, think about it. If you're a police officer, you go to the academy, which is my son is in the academy right now. He's in, I think, week nine of 12 week in the academy. He's going to be a sheriff. And I guarantee you, he even tells me, they're preparing him for the worst scenarios. Now, if it was like regular school, they would not be preparing him for that. He's actually getting tased, okay? It isn't like, okay, let's wait till after you become a police officer, then you get tased. No, during his training, he's getting tased. So they're preparing him for what it feels like and what the perpetrators that they may have to use the taser on They're also getting gassed. They have to go and get gassed, and they have to get the pepper spray in the face. They go through all of that because they're preparing them for the real world. They actually have to shoot live ammo. They have to drive the cars and not hit the cones. He's going through all these things he's telling me about because they're preparing him for the real life scenario. And I truly believe that high school and schools do not prepare you for the real world. And you kids out there, or people that are in school and even in college, your first few years in college, you will realize once you get out, you will realize what I'm saying, that, whoa, I did not realize all this I have to deal with. They don't teach you about parenthood and about marriage and what happens when you get married and you have to support a family, and what happens when you lose your job. They don't prepare you for that in school. These are all real world things. But if you study these things, you talk to people that went through them, it definitely helps you out get through that. So, Brandon, my buddy, what's going on there? Where do I get that shirt? Hey, if you want one, just let me know. I'll get you one. And a book. Well, my book is on Amazon right now, sir. But if you want to go help the cause and buy it, because that helps me be able to buy more books to give to the kids. But you know, you're my buddy, and I'll definitely get you one for free if you like. Bam. There's yours. It's good seeing you, my friend. Uh, Brian says pepper spray hurts. I bet it does. I don't know, but my son told me, yeah, it's pretty brutal. And he also said that getting tased was not fun either. So, and I don't plan on letting him tase me down the road either. So definitely don't want to get tased, just like he's getting. So I'm very proud of him. I'm kind of scared that he's going through the academy, though. I'm kind of scared that he's going to be a sheriff, but I have to have faith, right? I have to have faith in God and that things are going to work out all right. But I just wanted to use that analogy of him being in the academy, how they're preparing him for the real world, not like schools does. Schools does not prepare you for the real world. You have to self-educate yourself and learn on your own, because life is going to hit you in the mouth. And if you think you're going to come out of high school and you're ready to go in the real world, it isn't going to happen. So, and it's so simple now. Like I said earlier, all this takes is a click of a button and you can learn anything you want in this world. So thanks. Brandon says, thanks, man. I need positive in life right now. But hey, I'm always here for you, man. So prayers to you. Pray for you today and tonight, like I always do. Let's see what he said. I was thinking about that book that host was recommending about the CEO who retired and became a pizza guy. What book are you talking about, man? Retired and become a pizza guy. Oh yeah, I remember. I remember that book where he was actually, yeah, he was a big time, made a lot of money, a big time, lot of money. I mean, he was probably, I think he might have even been like a millionaire. He was the CEO, made quite a bit of money, and he decided to go back and he was trying to be a manager of a pizza place, and they were like, dude, you're way overqualified. But he just enjoyed it so much and enjoyed being around the people. It wasn't about the money, it was about the challenge of doing something different. And yeah, I remember that book now. That's Retired Pizza Peeps. All right. Brandon, you always make me laugh, man. You're so funny, dude. You're so crazy. What's up? Mr. Awesome is on there. How you doing? It's good to see you. I'm glad. I follow you all over the place, man. I'm telling you, one day I'm going to be on the stage with you. I'm telling you that right now. Mark my word, I will be on the stage with you. I appreciate you watching all the time. I love your stuff. I love your content. I love watching you. I see you all over the place, and you're doing what I want to be doing, and I'm slowly but surely getting there. But like I said, my book, Genius Within, I'm on principle number 10, which is be passionate about learning and self-educate yourself, because what they're teaching you in school is not going to prepare you for life. So I've been on here quite a while talking about that. So just remember, I did the little quote from Yoda. You will find only what you bring in. You will find only what you bring in, from the one and only Yoda. Some of you Star Wars fans out there can appreciate that, and that's what I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Of course, I was about 7 years old when that movie came out, so that's why I'm a huge fan. But yeah, what you will find only what you bring in, and that's so true. So think about it. You have to bring it in order to find what you're looking for. You just can't expect it to happen. Let's see what Eric said. Dude, come join us in Chicago for the Think and Grow Rich Legacy Tour. Well, I'm here in San Diego and actually going to go to the one here in a couple weeks, I think, in a week or so. Chicago's a long ways away from where I'm at. And let's see. Let's see what Brandon said. I decided from acting, open up a business. Well, you can do it, man. You just, whatever you want to do. All you got to do is put your mind to it, put in the action. You know what I say about goals? You got to have that goals, Brandon. And if you have a goal, what do you got to do? You got to write it down. And if you have goals and they're not written down, what do I always say? You might as well go back to bed because it's just a freaking dream. So if you have those goals and dreams, make sure they're written down and action taken. So Brandon, if that's what you want to do, man, all you got to do is put your mind to it and put in the action and go do it, man. You can do whatever you want. San Diego, awesome. I'm speaking there as well. Then I will see you there on the stage like always. Eric, I'm looking forward to seeing you rock the stage, Mr. Awesome. And it's always a pleasure to see you out there. Let's see, I think I forgot somebody. Eloy and Eric and Brandon. Make sure. Oh, there. Yes, that's right. Mr. Martin, how's it going, buddy? How you doing? How's everything going with you and your book and all your speaking everywhere? I've seen you twice now speaking. I really enjoy what you talk about. So I knew I saw you on there, so I didn't want to miss anybody. But guys, again, my book is on Amazon finally. It's out. Check it out. I take the money and I put it back into getting more books and to give out to the high school kids, the special ed students that I speak to at high schools. And that's what the book is about. I was diagnosed with a learning disability growing up, and I'm giving back to the kids and letting them know they can be successful. It's all in the mind. Don't allow people to feed you weeds in your mind. Feed yourself the flowers, and that also comes with the self-educate. You can either self-educate yourself negatively or self-educate yourself positively. So don't feed yourself weeds, feed yourself flowers. So guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I've been rambling on. I hope this helps some of you guys out there. If you think it can help somebody, please forward it on to your friends and your peeps and let them know that they need to hear it. Yeah, I think it's very important. Self-education is very important. Academic education in high school and stuff like this is like great too, but I truly believe they're not setting you up to succeed in life. You have to self-educate yourself. So get out there, read them books, get those podcasts, go to those seminars, go to those webinars, learn. Click of a button, you can learn anything you want in this life. You even have Siri. Hey Siri, tell me this, A, B, C, and D, and boom, there it comes. That's simple. So there's no excuse for us to be as dumb as we are today, because we're too busy doing this and video gaming and texting and all that kind of stuff. Get out there and educate yourself. Get out of the house, travel, have a good time, learn things, and become a better person out there. And trust me, I guarantee you will enjoy it when you put what you're passionate about and you put in the effort to learn about it, no matter what it is. Go out there and do it. I always love coming and talking to you guys. Appreciate all you guys paying attention. And thank you, Martin. Great content. Appreciate that. And thank you for sharing. And Amy, good seeing you. Coming on at the end, we'll replay. Yes, please replay. Hashtag live, hashtag replay. And please watch the whole thing and forward it on to your friends. I think people out there need to hear it. Again, I am Coach G. Principle number 10, passionate about learning, in my book, The Genius Within, 20 Principles of Growing Your Genius. So peace out, guys. I'll talk to you later. Coach G out.